What's up, y'all? So just a little while ago, before I recorded this video, I was gonna go back out right away, but I just got stuck on it. It's a documentary. I don't know how old it is. I think maybe 10 years old to 5 years old. Not too old, but and it's. I mean, it deals with the Cuban Revolution from the inside. They interview some people that were involved. Um, it seems to me that the people, that some of the people that were involved, they mostly interviewed people that were tied to some the how would you say in English you would say, the revolution or the Cuban Revolution period. You know what I'm saying? Like they call it, the name of the group is DR. And this was the urban group that was mainly starting the revolution in the city. But many of them were like, "Wow, they don't know why things happened the way it did. We don't know the truth or nothing like that." Obviously, most of the Cubans that live in the United States now obviously have no clue about the Freedom of Information Act, and that's no disrespect to them. But the documentary, I mean, let me just put it this way: the documentary was real disappointing. It was interesting, but it was disappointing. I kept watching it just to see if they were really gonna mention the CIA's involvement and the Mafia's involvement in supporting Fidel Castro and then trying to kill him after that. They never mentioned any of that. It was almost like it's like whitewashing of history. You know what I'm saying? And this has been going on since 9/11, because before 9/11 there was all kinds of things coming out about everything that the CIA was doing domestically as well, and so many truths about the JFK assassination. And then all of a sudden 9/11 happened, and the Patriot Act, and all of a sudden we see the return of almost like COINTELPRO, or a new form of COINTELPRO. CIA just kind of going back real hard in their assassination program. Everything just went backwards after 9/11. And one of the things I noticed since 9/11 is the whitewashing of history, of CIA involvement and everything. See what I'm saying? And it's real disappointing that this has been going on now for a long time. And in the name of patriotism, of course, because if you speak out or you mention anything that the CIA has done, or you mention that the CIA killed Kennedy, you're anti-American. Even though people like me are against all forms of dictatorships. I mean, I'm not defending Russia. I would never defend the Russian government. You know what I'm saying? But I'm talking about what our government has done. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm an American and we're on the inside. So it's our duty to talk about it. And it's just disappointing that the documentary, any interview a CIA got, you know what I'm saying? But it's disappointing that they don't want to dig for the real truth of CIA involvement in supporting Juan Batista, the CIA and the Mafia and the American companies like, I believe AT&T. They were all doing business with Juan Batista while he was murdering people and while there were protesting going on. When the popular support for the uprising started, that's when the CIA and the Mafia decided to switch sides and secretly arm Fidel Castro from Miami, with the help of, I believe, the former dictator Pia, which I don't know if I caught the whole documentary. I don't know if they even mentioned Pia. But, Cuba has a whole history of revolution movements to even oust the Spanish Empire, But it's a lot of, it gets confusing because there's a lot of violence on both sides, I wouldn't call it an insurrection. It was basically a civil war in 1956, 57, 58. But, and as soon as they get up to the part where Castro takes over, and then they kind of stop the documentary short. He stopped the documentary after that. The documentary finishes after that. I mean, completely finishes. And That's not really being honest. If you're gonna talk about Fidel Castro, why not talk about all the things they didn't even mention the fact that when Castro took over, that he executed 77 opposition leaders with the help of the CIA, of course, which is one of the worst atrocities. It's just as bad as what anything Batista did, and they did never bring this up. They never bring up any real war crimes in the documentary, and they never bring up the CIA and the Mafia involvement in putting Fidel Castro in power. Before that, supporting Juan Batista, helping him stay in power. There's so many things they never brought up in the documentary, and I'm curious to know why. And this was at Channel 21, the HD3, the World. The name of the channel is called World. And if anybody's familiar with that documentary, I didn't even pay mind to what the name of the documentary was there. Then you should be disappointed too. Whether you're anti-Castro, pro-Castro, or like me, just a pure humanist, someone who cares about the truth. I know you guys, if you know about the documentary, I'm sure you're disappointed. If you know what I'm talking about, if you're curious to watch it, and you're gonna see. Like, it disappoints everybody because it doesn't bring up anything, about CIA's involvement and everything. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to say that because it just bothered me, and the truth is the truth. And Cuba has never had a democracy, so I think as much as I believe Puerto Rico should be independent, I believe that Cuba should have a democracy, and the United States has to stop getting involved, and that's up to the Cuban Americans. I mean, unfortunately, many Cuban Americans in Miami want the United States to get involved in Cuba, and I don't know why. I mean, why would you want a country that doesn't care about poverty or about independence for Cuban business people? The people who run this country, they don't give a shit about that. You know what I'm saying? And if you think they do, then you're misguided and you're naive. But I'm just, I just had to say this because it was bothering me. And I believe in the truth, and I believe in justice. I believe in truth, justice, and that's all I have to say. You know what I'm saying? But I've done videos about it, but based on what I've read, you know what I'm saying? And so I think people just need to read as much as you can whenever you have time. And so I'm currently reading another book about the JFK assassination. So it's a big book, so I'm pretty sure there's a lot of information that the other books don't have that's on this book, because the way the author investigates is real differently. He does it differently. He starts from the bottom up. So I'm still learning, you know what I'm saying? I'm still learning about a lot of things about this country and about the world. So, but I think I know enough now to speak on it and know how the U.S. government works, how the CIA works. And I think people need to demand that television needs to start doing real investigative documentaries that question the CIA, that show. I mean, you have video and audio of CIA people confessing to war crimes, so it's not like the media doesn't know about it. It's just that they're afraid for some reason. They're afraid to show that side of the U.S. government. But why? I mean, the truth is the truth, and I blame. And Channel 21 is a little different than it was back in the day. Channel 21 was, I believe, owned by PBS back in the day. But I don't know if 21 still gets funding from the Ford Foundation or the Rockefeller Foundation or the Carnegie Foundation. If they do, then that explains everything, you know what I'm saying? If you know anything about the Carnegies and the Rockefellers, and so it kind of pisses me off, you know what I'm saying? Because that's why it's up to us to kind of pull out the truth, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's anywhere else, you know what I'm saying? Betsu was writing books, going to those countries and seeing how those countries, like going to Venezuela and seeing how that country, if you have the money, of course, seeing how that country really is, you know. So that's it. That's all I gotta say. You know what I'm saying? The truth will set you free. You know what I'm saying? Peace.